PunkTV.ca for all the best modern rock videos and interviews.
Hey! He got a real long reach in the derrick when he leans. He been all around the world on the big old rigs with the welders and the trucks on the black gold rush and the diesel burning cat motors.
All right, I'm Dixon Christie here from PunkTV.ca. We're here with our good friend CORB LUND. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, you.
Country guys allowed to be on Punk TV?
I think you have proven that they are, absolutely, and we are streaming.
I got a pass. Eh?
You do. We're streaming all of your videos. I think I got 5 or 6 of them. We're streaming at 640 by 480.
Good, thanks.
Big TV quality. My pleasure, of course. So you just killed it out here. Tell us about getting onto the Virgin Festival.
Yeah, it's kind of cool for us because here at home in Calgary, it's, you know, we've done the Stampede, and we do Big Valley sometimes, we've done the Folk Fest, but yeah, doing the rock show is cool. I like being the country guy at the rock show. That's a position I'm comfortable in.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it for a second, because you went through the whole phase where you were the country guy at the rock show, and you know, easing your rock fans into your country music now. Of course, you're here at Virgin.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of crossover between. I mean, there's a lot of shitty country too, right? And I think a lot of kids don't really know that there's kind of interesting country, right? But and also there's a lot of punk people that like Cash or even like
Hank 3.
Sure, or Social Distortion or whatever. So I mean, there's some crossover.
So you guys obviously on the venue here, and not just that. I recently noted that you guys were playing at Rexall.
Yeah, that was the crowning achievement of our tour. It was cool. It was the very last show, and it was like being an Oilers fan, that was kind of like coming home. And I only lived 10 blocks from there too, so it was pretty cool. It sounded really good too. We had it kind of cut off halfway, so they have the theater sort of vibe with the big curtains, and it sounded good, and the show was fantastic. It was great.
Well, and here, I mean, there were thousands and thousands of people out front, definitely here to see CORB LUND too.
Yeah, it was nice to see. I mean, this is kind of one of our hometowns, so it was cool. But it was like I was making a joke on stage about how there's people who brought their kids to see the punk bands and their parents to see me, right?
And strangely enough, there aren't a lot of punk bands. I think there's only 2 playing, but Virgin has a really good way of picking bands. There's a lot of really good rock and roll.
Yeah, it's a really good wide variety for sure.
He's a good hand to have on, and he's throwing on the tongue, spin a chain and sliding high side all night long, and he's tripping in his pipe, and he torques it good and tight, and you gotta figure it, he's got his mud weight right. You better hire him on, cause he's better than the rest. He got the power in his hands and the dragons in his chest, yeah.
But actually, speaking of country music gone bad, if you will, or Hank 3, I ran into some friends of yours in Toronto, and they said to say hi, White Cowbell, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because they're a tripper.
Yeah, they told me about a time you guys had, you came by after one of your big shows and
Yeah, in
played.
Lethbridge.
In Lethbridge,
Yeah,
yeah.
we took over the place.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of it.
They said it was wild. All right, so what else is new with you? Obviously still on the road promoting your album.
Yeah, we've spending a whole lot of time in America lately, and we're going right back in September. We're doing a few festivals over the summer, writing some, but mostly we're trying to get America happening. We've got some label stuff happening now too, so hopefully. So we're working on the deal. So we're starting to really get Texas has been real good for us. There's a real good audience down there. Like they actually seek out original music, which is kind of unique and good. But we've sort of gotten to know all the bands in the Texas music scene down there. So we've actually, it feels like Alberta felt about 5 or 6 years ago. Like small crowds, like 100, 200, but really into it, that know the stuff, and that's how it starts. So
you're doing it again, right back to the grassroots.
Yeah, that's the only way I've ever had any success, is just by getting in the van and playing wherever, whether it's England or, like, we eventually, for a long time we were just known in Western Canada, and we just toured enough out east that it helped us. I mean, the videos help too, of course, but I think the bottom line is just getting in the van and going to somebody's town over and over and over until they pick up on the fact that you're serious about it, you know?
Well, it might be a good culmination for South by Southwest next year in the spring.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're playing that. We played it last year, but like the year before last, and then not this most recent year. I think we're doing it again, but yeah, it's always fun.
Do you like Austin? And
Yeah, I lived in Austin in 2001 or something for 6 or 8 months. It's a great town.
You were down there recording the album with.
I was just writing down there. I recorded it in Tennessee actually, but.
Oh yeah. Did you find that inspiring being down there?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, mostly for me, it was just it was when the Smalls finished up, right? And so I just sort of took off and did my thing. I kind of wanted to go to a city where I didn't know anybody and just sort of soak it up and hang out by myself and write some songs. So it was good. That's kind of what got me on the Alberta songs, because those guys in Texas sing so much about Texas. It's like it makes you think about where you're from, right?
Do you ever feel self-conscious about being from Alberta and self-conscious about the smallness of writing about Alberta? Like Ian Tyson would never say that, but do you ever find that in the global sense of things, writing about New York or writing about Texas or Amarillo, Texas or whatever, seems to have such a bigger scope than writing about small Alberta?
No, I don't at all. I mean, because I think people, if you're writing the songs from an honest place, I think people pick up on it, and no matter what you're singing about. And my family's been here 100 years, so I mean, it would be false of me to try to write like I was from California or something. But the answer to that is no. I feel quite comfortable doing it, and so far it's been working. The example I always use is like, when I was a kid, I liked Springsteen. He's from New Jersey slums, right? Which was totally alien to my background, but because he was good at painting these pictures about his background, you could tell were authentic. It made sense to me, and I liked it. So I think that's what happens if you do it right.
That's right. Can you help me write this one? So this third verse is for him. Well, Saska Bush is pretty. Yep, she's pretty flat. And Lord knows I'm a pretty boy, so I'm pretty used to that. The facing off with gold. Have we talked about the Secret Sessions? I know we did earlier today, but have you commented on the impact of Bruce Springsteen going back to his roots and being noted as one of the greatest songwriters that ever lived, singing everybody else's music but his own for the last 5 years?
We haven't talked about it, but it's really a very cool thing. I'm making a record pretty quick here. It's going to be called Songs My Friends Wrote.
You told me about that last time.
Yeah, and it's about half, well, it's not recorded, but it's about half together. And it's like all my buddies who have a song or two that I think is great, that I think other people should hear, that maybe people who I feel aren't discovered enough.
Yeah.
If I'm in any kind of position to turn people on to a lot of my friends who write good songs, I think that's kind of cool too. So I'm going to make a record full of songs that my favorite songs of all of my buddies.
Can you tell us a couple?
Yeah, sure. Tim Huss from here in Calgary's got a tune it's called Fire on the Mountain. It's about forest fires. It's really good. And guy I was on tour with, Hayes Carl, he's from Houston. He's got a song called Highway 87 I'm going to sing. And let's see, Jeff Berner, my buddy from Vancouver, he's got a bunch of songs. There's one called Prairie Wind that's really good. And Ridley Bent's good. He's got one called Apache Hairlifter. It's like a Louis L'Amour novel set to music.
I love Louis L'Amour books, actually.
Yeah. And
Kilkenny.
Yeah, for sure. Tucker, you ever read Tucker?
Yeah, I did. Actually, when I was a kid, I read them all.
I did a book review in grade 4, and they told us to pick out a book and write a book review, so I freaked out my elementary teacher by writing a review of the Louis L'Amour novel. But yeah, that's my next project. I don't know. I'll either put out my own record and then do that one, or I might do that one next. I'm not sure, but I'm excited about that.
He gives power to the people.
Rock! Watch PunkTV.ca for all the best modern rock videos and interviews.